Welcome. This is a full stretch and relax yoga class. Stretch and relax is a gentle yoga flow that works the whole body. In this practice, it is beneficial if you do have 2 yoga blocks. If not, no big deal. We can work without them, but if you have them, go ahead and grab them, roll out your yoga mat, and we shall get started. To begin this video, we're going to start in this posture, cross-legged position called Sukhasana. Sukha means ease. You want to get comfortably into this position. And take a moment to root your tailbone down. Let your spine grow nice and tall. Let your shoulders roll back and down. And give yourself a moment to connect with your breath. In all of yoga practice, it is key to connect with the breath. The breath is the bridge between mind and body. That is where you influence energy. So feel the breath start to slow down. Feel the breath start to deepen. Helping yourself let go of anything that became before you decided to do this practice or that may come after, so that you can be fully present while we systematically work through the body head to toe to let go of tension and tightness and simply stretch and relax. When you're ready, we're going to begin with our first movement. So with your next inhale, let that inhale stretch your spine even taller. Shoulders are softened down, chin is parallel to the floor. And as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest while you lengthen up through the back of the neck, feeling a gentle stretch move up the back of the neck. And then with your inhale, start to lift the chin, shoulders stay soft and down. Draw the chin up till you feel a gentle stretch through the front of the neck, and lift up through the top of the head so you don't crimp the back of your neck. And we're going to do that 2 more times. With an exhale, chin draws into the chest, lengthening up through the back of the neck, shoulders are soft. And with the inhale, the chin lifts, shoulders stay soft. And then 1 more time, just like that. Exhale, chin to chest, lengthening up through the back of the neck. And inhale, lift the chin. This time as you exhale, bring your chin back to your chest, lots of length up through the back of the neck, and let your next inhale take your head a quarter roll to one side. Just gently swing to the side, tipping the ear slightly down. With your exhale, roll back center. And inhale, gently swing the head to the other side. Feeling gentle stretching on the side of the neck. This is our warm up, so we're just moving in and out of spaces nice and light. And again, exhale, center. Inhale, swing the head to one side. Taking about a 5-second inhale. Exhale, center. Same length of breath here, about 5 seconds, just so you have time to feel what's happening. And then inhaling to the other side. And we're going to go back and forth 1 more time. Exhaling, center. Inhaling into the stretch. Exhaling, release out. And inhaling to the other side. And then exhaling, bring your head and neck back center. We'll take 3 shoulder rolls here. Gently rolling the shoulders back and down. Sometimes we're directly coordinated with the breath, and sometimes just breathe comfortably. From here, we're going to move into the chest and upper back. So with the hands resting on the knees, as you inhale, gently bring the heart space forward, gently squeezing shoulder blades together and a little lift through the chin. And then as you exhale, round out the upper back, tucking the chin towards the chest. You get that stretch across the upper back. And then again on the front side, with your inhale, opening that heart space, shoulders draw back, lift the heart. Exhaling, round out. And 1 more time, just like that, with the inhale, opening the front of the chest. And with your exhale, opening the back. And then return back to a neutral posture. Here, bring your hands down the sides of your hips, and we're going to move into the side body. With an inhale, sweep your right arm up and over. Let that inhale fill up the lungs, give you a stretch on the inside of the ribs. And with your exhale, release that arm back down. Switching sides here with an inhale, reaching up and over. Feeling that gentle side stretch enhanced by that inhale. And then with the exhale, release back out. We're going back and forth 2 more times each side. Inhale. Staying about that 5-second inhale. And exhale. And if that's not the ideal breathing pace for your body, listen to your body. Inhale. And exhale. One more right here. And exhale. Coming back up center, we're going to bring our right hand over onto our left knee. Our left hand's going to reach behind us for support. We're centering the spine, lifting up nice and tall and taking a gentle twist, looking over the left shoulder. Shoulders are soft and down. Space is across the chest, so not collapse the chest. And we're going to hold here just briefly, letting the breath enhance this stretch further. So you'll feel a little extra stretch on that inhale and some relaxation through that exhale. And let's do that with one more deep, full breath. And then following that exhale, gently return back center. And we're going to switch over to the other side. So now left hand goes over onto right knee. Right hand's behind you for support. Shoulders are back and down. Spine's tall and centered. Take your twist. Shoulders are soft and down. Space across the chest. And 3 deep breaths in this twist. Again, to let the breath enhance the stretch. Taking your time with the breath, no need to rush. You want to feel what you're doing while you're doing it. Integrating mind and body. And then when you're ready, after that last exhale, gently unwind yourself back center, and we'll continue down through the body, moving into the low back. From this position, Sukhasana, bring your hands forward and start to walk yourself into a forward fold. When you feel some gentle stretching in your low back and the top of your hips, feel free to relax the gaze downward, but try to keep a lengthened spine. You don't want to round too much into this posture. And if this is a lot of stretch because your hips are tight, this is a great place to bring a block or 2 in, or if you have a pillow or anything else that you are using, and it just elevates your upper body a bit and gives you a little more support so you can gauge the right amount of stretch. And let's stay for one more full breath, taking our time. And again, with the exhale, just soften. See if you can go in a little bit deeper by letting go a little bit more. And then ease your way back upright. And we're going to switch the front leg here. So recross the legs with the opposite leg in front. And we're going to go back into that forward fold. Hands come out in front of you. Slowly walk yourself into it. So you take your time mindfully to gauge the depth that's going to be right for your body. When you feel that first level of stretch engagement, that's a great place to pause. And then let the breath take you a little bit deeper, softening a little more through the exhale. One more. Taking your time. This one feels pretty good for most people because hips tend to be very tight, especially in the low back hip area. So we're lingering just a little bit. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back upright. And we'll continue down through the body. We're going to come over onto our belly now, and we're going to work into the quads. So bringing yourself over onto the belly. Before we head into the quads, we're going to do 3 cobra poses. So from this position, bring your hands underneath your elbows. You don't want them up here by your shoulders because we're coming to cobra, and that's going to squish your neck a bit. So bring them down along your side so they're underneath the elbows. Roll the shoulders back and down, and when you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale slowly peel your upper body up to have a nice gentle stretch in your low back, lifting out the top of the head to not crimp any of the vertebrae, and exhale, lower back down. We're going to do that 2 more times, just moving in and out of the pose. Inhale, shoulders roll back, elbows point back, lift up, stretch up, and exhale, release. One more. Inhale, slowly coming up, and exhale, release. From here, we're moving into the quads, the front of the legs. So fold your right arm underneath your forehead. So it's at a right angle here, and you can rest your head down on it, your chin down on it, but try to relax your upper body. And then we're gonna bend, I'm starting with the left leg. Bend the left leg in, reaching back for left foot or ankle. And gently draw the heel down towards the hip till you feel the right amount of stretch. On your next breath, gently press your hip bones into the floor, press your thighs into the floor a little bit, using a little glute activation to do that. You're gonna feel more lengthening through the front of the leg, and it's good for pelvic alignment. And let's stay for one more breath here. Seeing if you want to draw that foot down a little bit more. And then when you feel ready, gently release that foot. Fold both arms underneath your chin, forehead, or cheek. And you're going to draw your left leg up into a half frog position. So that leg's going to come up to a right angle with the hip and knee aligned, the knee and ankle aligned, and the foot flexed. And then with a deep breath, as you exhale, soften the hips down, feeling release on the inside of the hip. This is reported to be most people's sleeping position, which is wonderful, but here we're working mindfully to release any built up tension and tightness on the inside of the hip. And we'll take one more breath here. And then we'll slide that left leg back in line with the right, and we'll repeat those 2 exercises over on the right side. So bending the right leg in, reaching back for foot or ankle, drawing the heel down towards the hip, taking a breath there to check in, and then with the next breath, gently pressing the hip bones and thighs into the floor a little bit more. You're going to feel lengthening through the hip flexor. And as you stay there, gently moving with the breath. As you exhale, see if you want to draw that heel down a little bit more, taking on a bit more stretch. The answer may be no, and that's fine. Listen to your body. This is your practice. And we'll stay for one more. And then gently release that foot down. And we're going into half frog on that side. So both arms fold in. Right leg now moves up to a right angle. Foot's flexed. Knees in line with the hip. Knees in line with the ankle. And if that angle is not exactly right for your body, please adjust according to your body. There is no hard right or wrong when you're practicing yoga. You want to listen to you more than anything. And your body will give that feedback if you're present there, breathing comfortably and listening. This is quite relaxing. Let's stay for one more breath here. And then we're going to slide that right leg back in line with the left. We're going to reposition into the cobra pose, bringing the wrists back underneath the elbows. Feet are gently together, legs are zipped up, shoulders are rolled back and down. And we're gonna slowly lift into a cobra pose. When you're ready with an inhale, let's do that. Lift in the cobra pose, but this time also bend at the knee, drawing the toes towards the head, looking up, lifting out through the top of the head, and then gently release the whole body back down here. With an inhale, lift to tabletop, curling the toes under, and as you exhale, lift to downward facing dog. Tailbone goes up. And you can make any adjustments to your posture here. I'm getting better on this mat, so I'm more centered in the mat. Fingers are spread, pointer fingers are pointed forward. We're lifting up through the tailbone, gently settling down onto the heels. And feel free to take any natural movements here. If you want to sway the hips a little bit or pedal the heels a little bit, whatever feels good to your body. We're going to move in and out of downward dog 2 more times. So when you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale take you to tabletop, dropping the knees down, spine's long. As you exhale, lower back to the floor, chest moves down, elbows point back. As you inhale, come into cobra pose, lifting up, stretching up right up to the top of the head. As you exhale, relax the body back down. Inhale back to tabletop. And exhale back into downward facing dog. That's called a low flow. A typical vinyasa flow, but in a lower position. And here we'll pause again, giving chance to let go of any tension and tightness in the hamstrings. Hamstrings are larger muscles, tend to hold a lot of tension and tightness. So here we're spending quality time with our bodies, releasing, stretching, relaxing. And then we'll do that flow one more time. So when you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale take you to tabletop. Let the exhale lower the belly down. Setting up for cobra. Inhale, lifting to cobra. Exhale, releasing out of that posture. Inhaling back to tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Pausing here again. Taking a moment, checking in, stretching. And then we're going to walk the feet up to the hands. Pausing for a moment in a standing forward fold, relaxing the head and neck. And here feel free to bring the opposite hand to opposite elbow and gently sway side to side. Moving slow and mindfully, feeling the different sensation in the back of the legs as you move. And then pause, center, relax the arms down. With an inhale, make your way into a halfway lift. Bringing the spine parallel to the floor, stretching right out through the top of the head, tailbones reaching towards the back wall. And we're going to bend the left knee in. Bend that left knee slightly and place your hand on the left thigh. And when you're ready with an inhale, we're going to sweep that right arm up, twisting at the waist, gazing up towards that hand. The right leg is roughly straight, and we're pressing downward through that right leg with emphasis on the base of the big toe. You're going to feel that stretch move to the outside of the leg. Let's stay for one more breath here. And then unwind yourself back center. Center your posture back out, lifting right through the hips, lengthening through the spine, and we're going to switch sides. So now we're going to bend the right knee in. Right hand goes to the thigh, left hand starts to sweep up. We twist with that arm reaching up, turning to gaze up into that hand. That leg is roughly straight, pressing down through the base of the big toe. And you're going to feel that stretch move to the outside of the leg, the last part of the body that we need to warm up. And then when you're ready, unwind back center. Take another little halfway lift here just to stretch and lengthen and align. And then as you exhale, soften back to your forward fold. Now we're going to set up the next series of stretches. From this posture, we're going to take a giant step back with our right leg into a low crescent lunge. So right leg goes back, right knee drops down, relax that foot. From here, bring your hands up to your left thigh. Good. Now we're in a crescent lunge posture. You can make any adjustments that you need from this posture. We want this leg roughly at a right angle. Hands are rested here, and we're going to stay for 3 breaths to deepen this posture just a little bit. So as you inhale, you're going to inhale and feel yourself lift up through the spine, right out through the top of the head. And as you exhale, maybe let the hips sink down just a little bit more. Tailbone slightly tucked and pointed towards the floor. 2 more just like that. Just breath. Inhale. And exhale, soften, deepen if you like, if that's right for your body. And we'll stay for 1 more. And then with your next inhale, you're going to inhale and sweep your arms wide, reaching up overhead. As you exhale, you're going to bring your fingertips down to the back of your head. With an inhale, you're going to draw your elbows open, float your shoulder blades to the back of your body, Press your fingertips into your head and your head into your fingertips. Hips are still sinking down in that crescent lunge. We're strengthening and toning the upper back, the muscles that get all stretched out and fatigued and inflamed when we're working on our devices. We're undoing that here. Shoulder blades float back, fingers press into the head, head into the fingers, and let's hold that for one more breath. And then when you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale stretch the arms back up for alignment. And as you exhale, hands come down. Now this is a great place to grab those blocks if you have them. Putting them at any height that works for you, around the ankle of that front foot. We're moving into our next stretch, which is a hamstring stretch, or a reverse warrior, reverse lunge. So from here, you're going to straighten out the front legs, sending the hips backwards. Now from this posture, the blocks just help elevate the body so the stretch isn't too intense. If your hands are down and your legs are really tight, you just might have to bend the knee a little bit more and do that. Don't put too much stretch on this. We can play with it for a while. And then from here, you can work with a pointed toe like this, or you can flex the foot, drawing the toes back to you, and maybe take a moment to see what feels best in your body. But then as we work in this posture, we're going to use the breath and lengthen the spine. So as you inhale, stretch the spine long right out through the top of the head, drawing the tailbone towards the back wall. And as you exhale, let the heart gently melt over that front leg. You'll feel that that helps with each breath, deepen the stretch just a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinging at the hips, keeping a long spine, heart melts over that front leg. 2 more like that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, heart melts down. From here, our left leg is stretched out. We're going to keep the right hand down, either on the floor or on the block, and we're going to bring that left hand up to the hip. From here, draw the toes back, maybe flex the foot, maybe spread the toes a little bit, taking a moment to get a little neural response through all the toes in the foot. And then hold that flexed foot and begin to twist at the waist. Shoulders are back and down, space across the chest, rolling open. And when you do that, you're going to feel that stretch move to the outside of the leg again. Drawing that foot back, flexed foot, emphasis on pinky toe coming back this time. That's going to give a little extra all the way into the ankle. And as always, this one can be very intense, so mind your edge. Playing the edge in yoga means you go to that place where you feel sensation, stretch sensation, and then as you exhale, you gently soften and see if you want to go a little bit deeper, a little bit farther than that. That's playing the edge. You want to stay with that? Maybe one more breath. And then we're going to unwind back center. Both hands come down. Bend back into that front knee, left knee. Here, the hands are going to come inside the front foot. So if you have blocks, you just drag them with you inside the front foot. Toe heel that front foot out. So toes tap just off the mat, but the heel stays on. From here, you're going to curl the back toes under and lift off that back knee into a runner's lunge. Now, if you want to keep that back knee down, absolutely do that. If you don't want to open and turn open the hip a little bit, bring it back in line. And we're going to take a moment here. Having this opened hip allows you to get a little bit deeper into the hip joint. Now, if you want to add even a little bit more here, you can place that left hand on the left thigh, shoulders back and down, spines long, give a gentle little twist. You can stay centered. You can be off that back knee, you can be on that back knee, whatever feels good in your body. So much of the yoga practice is learning your body, learning where your edge is, learning how to move in and out of these spaces. Again, going back to what I said before, there's no hard right or wrong. What we're really trying to do is just get to know ourselves better and take better care of ourselves. Let's stay here for one more because this typically does feel good and that's good care. And then we're going to start to bring that leg back in, toe heel that foot back in line. Maybe put the blocks off to the side for a moment. Hands come down and we're going to ease ourselves back into downward facing dog. A nice centering posture here, taking a moment, taking a breath, and we're gonna do the low flow to make sure energy is moving in and out of every space smoothly and evenly. So when you're ready with an inhale, inhale and float into that tabletop. Exhale, lower your belly to the floor. Setting up for cobra, shoulders roll back, elbows point back. Inhale, peel up cobra. Exhale, release back out. Inhale back to tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Nice, smooth, low flow. Walk your feet back up to your hands. And we're gonna do that same set of stretches on the opposite side. So from here, when you're ready, we're gonna step back with the left foot. So right foot is forward. Dropping the back knee down, relaxing that foot, and hands come up to the thigh. Taking a moment to adjust your posture or your clothes. Bringing that front knee roughly to a right angle over the ankle. Shoulders are soft and down. And settling in here. And then we're gonna take those 3 breaths to give ourselves a moment to deepen, to let go of extra tension and tightness that's living in these muscles, this joint around the hips. So with an inhale, we stretch up nice and tall through the spine. As we exhale, we let the hips sink down. Slowly, mindfully, gently. 2 more like that. Still somewhere around that 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale, so that you have time to be present and feel what's happening while it's happening. Good. And then from here, with an inhale, we're going to inhale and sweep the arms up, reaching up, centering the posture. Exhale, hands behind the head, fingertips go to the back of the head. Inhale, draw the elbows open, shoulder blades float to the back side of the body, chin lifts slightly, fingers press into the head and the head into the fingers. Again, we're activating those tired muscles in our upper back, giving them a little tone. It's just a convenient place to do that work here in this posture. One more deep breath here. And then with an inhale, we're going to inhale and stretch back up, centering, and exhale, hands come down, setting up the reverse lunge. So again, if you like, grab those blocks if you have them. If not, hands to the floor. Gently sit the hips back, straightening out the front leg. Now in this posture, again, that right leg or that back leg is at a right angle. The front foot can be pointed, which feels good. You'll get that nice stretch over the front of the foot. You can flex that foot. You can go back and forth. But to work in this posture, we're going to work with lengthening the spine. So as you inhale, stretching the spine out through the top of the head, out through the tailbone, long, flat back. And then as you exhale, the heart melts over the front leg. With that inhale, we're lengthening. And with the exhale, we're deepening. Both good actions to do gently, mindfully. Let's stay one more breath here. And then we're going to send this stretch out to the IT band by moving into a gentle twist. So here, left hand stays down on the floor, on the block. Right hand goes to the hips. Shoulders are soft and down. Foot's flexed, toes are drawn back towards you for this stretch. And then gently twist, looking over the right leg. Good. Shoulders back and down, long spine, gentle twist. Foot's coming back. Emphasis on pinky toe coming back to get that stretch all the way down the outside of the leg into the ankle. One more breath here. And then we'll unwind back center. Bend back into that front knee. Hands come inside the front foot. Blocks come along if you're using those. Toe heel that front foot out so the toes tap off the mat, heel stays on. You can curl the back toes under for this one. I'm going to reposition a little bit so I can get my toe on the sticky mat. Lift up through the back leg. Hips are sinking down, spine's long. Again, some other choices here if you like. Drop the back knee. You can bring your right hand up to the right thigh and give yourself a nice little twist into this pose. moving slowly, mindfully with the breath, so that at any moment, if your body suggests it's not wise, you have a chance to back out. Or maybe your body's suggesting this is really nice, why don't you go a little bit deeper, and then try to soften even more through the exhale and see where your body wants to go. And then we'll start to ease out, dropping the back knee down for stability here if it's not already down. Toe heel that front foot back in line. Hands come outside the foot for stability. I'm going to set my blocks off to the side, and we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. Easing into the downward facing dog, feet are roughly parallel to one another, hip distance apart, lift up through the tailbone, lengthen up through the spine. One more breath. And one more low flow here. So with an inhale, come into tabletop. As you exhale, lower your body to the floor. With an inhale, come into cobra pose, giving yourself a gentle, loving stretch here. But this time as you exhale, release all the way down to the floor. We're going to set up for locust pose next. We're going to do a standard locust pose here, strengthening and toning the back side of our body. So to do that, bring the feet together. Position your arms along the sides of your body with your palms facing you. Shoulder blades draw together. Fingertips reach down towards the feet. Stretching right out through the top of the head and eyes gaze to the floor. When you're ready with an inhale, as you inhale, lift up through the whole back side of the body. Lifting up through the back of the head, the heels, fingers still reaching for the feet. The whole back side is engaged, and we're going to hold for 5 breaths. Checking in from head to toe as you work through this pose. Feeling that strength build. And then after your 5th breath, we're going to ease into crocodile for constructive rest. So fold your arms in, draw your heels apart, turn your toes out, and lower down onto your hands. I can't go too low or I'm going to cut off my microphone. But you can relax your cheek, your forehead, your chin down onto your arms and feel softness move throughout your whole body. Moving in these spaces in and out of effort and ease, of stress and relaxation, trains the mind body to do that. That's a big part of yoga. It's part of the practice of yoga, that we challenge our bodies and then we take rest. And that's conditioning that response throughout our whole lives. Let's go again. So we're going to do round 2 of the same thing. Feet come back together, arms along the sides of the body, palms face you, shoulder blades draw together, fingers reach for the feet, and lift up. So we're creating some stress in the body, some strength and tone. Stress is how we build, how we change, how we improve. We don't want to avoid that. We want to bring it in. Some stress is good. Effort is good. But then after 5 breaths here, of strengthening and toning, of putting that stress and challenge into our bodies, we want to condition the response to let go. So then soften back to crocodile pose. And relax mindfully. Feel everything soften. Feel muscles in your face, along your back, down the legs, to the feet. We're going to repeat one more time. A good conditioning of this principle of moving from effort to ease and training that response. So when you're ready, feet go back together, setting up for locust. Arms along your sides, palms face you. Engage the back side of your body and lift into the pose. Holding and breathing, staying engaged, playing that edge. On the inhale, see if you want to lift a little bit higher, adding even a bit more stress, tension. One more breath. And then again, we're going to soften out, mindfully active relaxation. Relax all muscles. Soften, deepen the breath. One more here. And then we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So into the hands and knees position, starting with a flat back. With a flat back, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, softly round into cat, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone, rounding the back up. And then let that inhale take you back to a flat back. Next, we're moving into thread the needle pose. So from this tabletop position, we'll start on the left, taking your left arm and scooping it underneath your right, lowering down to the left shoulder and the left side of the head. Tailbone stays nice and high, spine's nice and long. Now your right hand can stay positioned right in front of your face, supporting the posture. That right arm can stretch straight out, or you can wrap it behind your back, adding just a bit more twist. We'll stay one more breath on this side. And then when you're ready, coming back center. Tabletop position, and we'll flow one cow and cat with a breath to make sure we're nice and aligned before we twist the other way. So inhale for cow pose, an arch. Exhale for cat pose, a rounded back. And then back to the flat back, and we'll set up thread the needle on the other side. So this time the right hand scoops underneath the left, palms up, gently lowering to the shoulder and the side of the head. This left hand can stay here in front of your face. The arm can stretch straight out. The arm can wrap behind your back for a little extra twist. Whatever feels right in your body. This is lovely. Could stay here for a while. It's a gentle twist right at the mid-back. One more breath. And then we're going to ease back out to tabletop. And we'll take one cow and cat flow. Inhale, cow pose with an arched back. Exhale, cat pose with a rounded back. And then back to a flat back. And we're going to make our way over into Sukhasana again. Crossing one leg in front. Taking a moment to settle into this seated posture. And next we're going to go into extra stretches for the upper back and for the neck. Two parts of the body that hold a lot of tension these days in our lifestyles. And so we want to give them that extra time. You took the time to do this video, to do this practice. I'm going to guide you into more time for places people typically hold extra stress. So we'll start with the upper back using the eagle pose, or at least half the eagle pose, eagle arms. So from this nice tall posture, and do check in, make sure you're lifted right out to the top of the head. Shoulders are softened down, lots of space between ear and shoulders. We're going to stretch the arms straight out in front of us with palms facing the floor. From here, you're going to wrap the right arm underneath the left and twist into eagle arms. So wrap your arms around one another with fingers pointed up. Now, if this is not within your anatomy's ability, you can give yourself a nice hug, but have that left arm underneath. So from eagle arms, we're going to gently move with the breath. So when you're ready with an inhale, shoulders are softened down to start. As you inhale, lift up through the elbows, bringing them up a line with the shoulders, and then let the eyes gaze towards the fingertips through that inhale. As you exhale, return the elbows back in line with the shoulders. On your next inhale, you're going to draw the arms over to the right. So inhale, bringing the arms across your body to the right, face stays forward, eyes gaze forward. And then as you exhale, release back center. Gentle movement, just enhancing the stretch a bit. Here, as you inhale, you're going to lift the arms up a little bit more. As you exhale, you're going to draw the belly into the spine, rounding out the back a bit, caving in the front side of the body a bit. And then you're going to gently draw the elbows into that cave, tuck the chin, and stay for one whole breath. Big inhale. Let that inhale fill up all the space under those open ribs, open shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, you're going to soften and slowly come back up. Breathe comfortably as you unwind your arms, bringing your hands behind you, fingers point away. Shoulders roll back and down. Shoulder blades gently drawn together. And with an inhale, lift up through the heart. Gently relax the head and neck, lifting out to the top of the head to not crimp the neck. And then as you exhale, soften back to a neutral posture. We're going to do that for the other side. Arms point straight forward, hands point forward. Left arm wraps under right, twisting into eagle arms, or left arm under the right into a hug. Shoulders are down. When you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale lift up through the elbows. Let the eyes follow the fingers. And exhale, elbows back in line with shoulders. Next inhale, drawing the arms over to the left. Face stays forward. And as you exhale, back center. Next inhale, stay right here. As you exhale, draw your belly in. Elbows move into the belly, chin tucks. And as you inhale, feel an extra squeeze through the arms. And as you exhale, soften. Slowly come back up. Unwind your arms. Breathe comfortably here. Arms move behind, fingers point away, shoulders roll back and down in a nice counter stretch for our spine here. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Gently relax the head and neck, lifting out through the top of the head. And as you exhale, soften back into a neutral spine. Good. Next, we're going to move into the neck and take a few moments to strategically release parts of the neck. So from here, I recommend you recross the legs, so the opposite legs in front, just because we'll be in this posture for a moment. We don't want legs to fall asleep. We also want to keep the hips nice and balanced and not overdo one side. Shoulders are back and down, spine's nice and straight. Lifting right up through the top of the head, chins parallel to the floor. When you're ready with an inhale, let that inhale exaggerate the length so there's lots of space between ear and shoulder, the space we're working. And as you exhale, let an ear drop over to a shoulder. With your next breath, as you exhale, let that head get heavy. Let the weight of the head and letting go of the resistance holding it up take you deeper. No need to push here. Staying present with the breath and allowing the stretch to happen is going to do most of the work for you. And then on the side of the neck that you're stretching, so here my head's tipped to the left, so on my right side of the neck, I'm going to reach that arm straight out, pointing my fingers towards the ground. So I have a diagonal line here, and you're going to feel that open up more lines of energy out through the whole arm and into the hand. So then take a breath and soften those channels so that energy can flow more smoothly, letting go of tension and tightness, better moving nutrients, everything that good, healthy flow and circulation does. Then we're going to add a little bit more. With this outstretched arm, you're going to flex at the wrist, spread the fingers, gently pressing through the palm as you draw the fingertips back towards you. And a quick little check-in, draw thumb back, pointer, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Just take a moment so you feel that sensation, drawing your awareness to the whole hand. Then from here, relaxing that hand neutral, you're going to wrap that arm behind you with the back of the hand gently pressing against the low back. Shoulders are back and down. The head is still tipped over to the left. And to add a bit more here, gently rotate the head and start looking down towards the left shoulder. You'll feel that change the sensation of how it stretches in the back of the neck. Now, these variations on this neck stretch, do what you like. You can do some, none, all. Listen to your body, and if you have a favorite of what we've just gone through, feel free to take most of the time there. Again, I don't know how many times I'll say it. There is no right or wrong way to do this. If you're listening to your body, you're going to get all the feedback you need. If you trust what your body says, you're going to do it in the best way for you. Let's stay one more breath here and use that exhale. As that you exhale through this last one here, just soften a little bit more. See if you can let go of any more tension and tightness. And then we're going to mindfully slowly exit. So we're going to bring that hand back to the knee first. Then we're going to bring the head and neck back up. Then we're going to give just a couple little rolls to the shoulders, nice and soft, nice and light. to get that energy flowing smoothly back around the whole system. And we'll set up the other side. Check in with your posture, tailbones rooted down, spine's nice and tall, shoulders back and down, chins parallel to the floor. Take an inhale, exaggerate length, open up the spaces, and with an exhale, let it ear drop to the other side. On that next breath, playing the edge nice and soft. As you exhale, let the weight of the head draw you in a little bit deeper. Just let go of trying to hold up heavy head. Soften in. One more here. And then we'll go into those enhancements. So on that side that you're stretching, my head's tipped over to the right, so now it's my left arm is going to reach straight out, diagonal line, fingertips reaching out for the floor. Shoulders still soft and down, head's nice and heavy. It just opened up more lines of energy. And the body will give that feedback almost immediately. You'll feel it. And then from here, we're going to add on a little bit more, another enhancement, flexing the wrists, spreading the fingers, gently pressing through the palm as you draw those fingertips back. Spine still nice and tall, head still gently relaxing over to the side, opening up the neck, all the lines of energy all the way down to the fingertips. The more sensation you have, the more tension and tightness you've built up. So the more you want to breathe. Just be present, allow it to happen rather than forcing. Using that exhale to soften and let go of that tension rather than trying to push into that stretch. Then from here, relax the hand back to a neutral position. Wrap that arm behind your back. Back of the hand gently presses into the low back. Spine still nice and tall. Shoulders drawn back, elbows drawn back. And if you want that last enhancement piece, then turn your head down towards the shoulder. Looking down to the shoulder. One more. Head still tipped over, nice and heavy, just lots of space. And if you want to move back into one of the other variations, please do. And then we'll slowly start to ease out. So we're going to bring the hand back to the knee first, the head and neck back up, and a couple little soft rolls for the shoulders. Good. Okay. Moving back into the legs. From here, we're going to go into classic butterfly pose. So from this posture, we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. Reach down towards the ankles. Shoulders are back and down, spine's nice and straight. Tailbone's rooted down. And to get into this pose, we're going to simply hinge at the hips, trying to keep a nice, straight, lengthened spine. We don't want to round down into this posture because then we lose where we really want to feel the stretch. So we keep our spines nice and straight, hinging at the hips. Once you've found a good edge for your body there, then relax the head and neck so the gaze does turn downward. That helps soften and relax. When the gaze is down and the eyelids start to close, it signals the body to relax and let go. So the spine is still long, hinging at the hips. We're just simply relaxing the head, the gaze. And if you want to add just a little bit more, you can gently press your elbows into the low legs. If adding a little bit more resistance, intensity here feels good on your body. And we'll stay for one more breath here. And then slowly bring the spine back up. And we're going to take that into a wide angle stance. From here, bring the heels apart. Align your posture to have a nice space between the feet that feels right. There should be some gentle stretching sensation here, but nothing overwhelming. If it's really significant to the point that it takes your breath away, narrow your stance a little bit so you can be at a more comfortable edge. Toes and knees are pointed straight up. From here, bring the hands out in front of you and start to walk yourself forward. Hinging at the hips, keeping the toes and knees pointed up into a wide angle forward fold. Now, every pose is different for everyone. This is one that is unbelievably challenging for me every time. I've been teaching yoga for 28 years. and still. So I like to have a trusty block here for this one where I bring it in front and I prop my body up so I can manage that edge of intensity a little bit better. I just like a little bit more softness when I'm going into this posture. Some people like to just go in, lay out flat. It is completely up to you. I'm gonna move that block and just kind of not go in too deep right now. We're gonna stay 2 more breaths. Enough time to do a little bit of work, just gently pressing that edge. And again, using the principles with the breath where you exhale, you soften, gently release. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back up. Bring the knees back in. And we are going to go over onto our backs into a supine posture. And when we're in that posture, one of the moves that we're going to do is a double knee twist, which is great to have a block. Again, not needed, but it does help alignment a little bit if you have one. So if you do, make sure that it's in reaching distance as you go and roll down onto your mat into that supine posture. And then go ahead and roll down, taking a moment once your spine is on the floor to completely let go here. Maybe a little side to side with the knees to feel the hips release. But we want to take that moment to allow the energy to just ground in here, soften, relax, maybe even a quick check-in, noticing energy in general has changed for you. And then this is our final set, and it will begin with the bridge pose. So bringing the feet hip distance apart, knees bent in, feet flat on the floor, we'll begin the bridge. Press down into the 4 corners of the feet and lift up through the hips. From here, we're going to draw the shoulder blades together, rolling the arms in underneath you. If you can, interlock the fingers. If not, no big deal, but try to draw the shoulder blades together and get the arms underneath you to take the pressure off the spine. Back of the neck stretches nice and long and chin tucks down towards the chest, and you look towards your belly button in this posture. Press downward into the feet, again lifting up through the hips, thighs roughly parallel to one another, and we're going to stay for a couple breaths. Now in this posture, like some other postures, this is building energy. When we build energy in a posture, the emphasis is on the inhale. As we're letting go of tension and tightness, the emphasis is on the exhale. But here we're building, so draw those inhales in, lifting up through the hip, feel that energy build, and often here the energy is strength that is being built in our hips, in our pelvic floors. One more breath. And then we're slowly going to roll that spine back down, release the hands, let the shoulders roll back out, lower the spine nice and slow, nice and gentle. Take a moment once the spine is on the floor to take a deep breath and relax into that sensation of moving from effort to ease, conditioning that response. And then draw your knees up towards your chest. Just give the knees a nice hug in. That's going to help relax the low back muscles. And we're going to go into one more strength exercise here. Well, we have 2 more strength exercises, gentle strength building. And it's single leg lowering. So from here, scoot your hands underneath your hips with your palms to the floor. Point the heels up towards the ceiling. And it's single leg lowering. So take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower the right leg down without letting it touch the floor. Just hover and pause and inhale that leg back up. Exhale, left leg. And then inhale that leg back up. We're going to do 4 more sets. Take your time, pace with your breath. Feel that gentle strength building in the lower abdominal muscles. Legs can be straight, they can be slightly bent. We lift the hips up just to soften the low back muscles so that the strength stays in the front side of the body, trying to help the low back muscles not activate during this. And we have 1 more set, I hope. Anyone that's taken my class knows I am notorious for losing count, but I think that this is the 5th set, so we'll go with it. Okay, from here, lower the feet down, but bring the heels to the outer edges of the mat. Release the arms from underneath you so your spine is nice and flat. So the heels are on the outer edges of your yoga mat and your toes are tapped slightly off. So you have a bit of a wide foot stance and turned out feet. We're going into windshield wiper twist from here. So from here, extend the arms out into the T position from the shoulders with palms up and let both knees drop over to the right. Just let the knees flop down softly, gently, mindfully, and you'll feel that nice stretch in the low back, in the hip flexor, in the hips, in the bridge, and in that single leg lowering. We tend to add some tightness back into the hip flexor muscles. We're just giving another chance of stretch and relax. And then bring the knees back up, keeping that wide foot stance. Let the knees softly drop over to the other side. Spine is relaxed. Gaze can be up, or you can turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees if you want more of a full spinal twist here. We will do a full spinal twist before the end of this practice. And then slowly bring the knees back up. Bring your feet back in line with the hips and find that block. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Bring your knees to a right angle. So the knees are right above the hips and the heels are pointed straight forward. If you have the block, place it between the knees with the long edge running down the calves. Arms go back into the T position. If no block, then put your legs in this position. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, we're going to drop both knees over to the right side. Spine stays relaxed, shoulders gently stay against the floor. Without letting the knees touch, just hover and pause. And then as you inhale, bring the knees back up. As you exhale, slowly lower knees over to the other side. Without letting them touch, just hover and pause, and bring the knees back up. We're going to go back and forth 4 more times in this double knee twist. This exercise has a lot going on in it. It has strength through the oblique muscles, the waist muscles. It has stretch all along those muscles as well as throughout the whole spine. At the edges of this twist, it gives the spine, the nervous system, a good wring out. It's a wonderful exercise. It's also very soothing, even though it's strength-based. It is very soothing to rock back and forth in this twist. It's soothing to the nervous system. This is 3, I believe. Worst case scenario, we end up doing an extra set. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I am shooting for 5. But I think this one is number 4. Take your time. Stay present with the breath. Having the block helps isolate the inner thigh muscles so they don't get involved, keeping most of the exercise right to the waist. This is the last set. And then when you finish that one, returning center. Setting the block off to the side, feet come down. From here, with an inhale, you're going to take a center stretch. So reach the arms up overhead, stretch the legs long. And then with your exhale, you're going to relax your arms along your sides. From here, we go into the figure 4. Bringing the knees back, bent in, feet on the floor, hip distance apart. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. The knee's going to drop open and the shin is parallel to the floor. From here, draw your knees in towards your chest, interlocking your hands behind the thigh, drawing the knees in. Next, check in, gently pressing the tailbone down towards the floor. That alone, that minor adjustment, can add some good quality stretch sensation to this posture. If you do need a little bit more to feel the stretch here, you can interlock the fingers over the shin and draw the knees in tighter. That can give you a little bit more, finding out where your body wants to be. We'll stay one more breath. And then from here, Lower the left leg. The right leg is on top. You're going to cross that over a bit tighter. Then you're going to scoot your hips about 2 inches to the right. So just pick your bum up and move it over about 2 inches and slowly let the knees drop back over to the left side. From there, arms move into the T position and you're going to turn your head away from the knees. So knees are dropped over to the left, your head turns to the right. And we're going to hold and breathe. And we want to be present with the breath here, as with all these poses. And as you inhale, feel that inhale build a little pressure sensation around the spine, a little extra squeeze for the spine, the nervous system. And as you exhale, soften. Relax the muscles in your jaw. Relax all along your spine. Let the inhale give a squeeze, drawing out any lingering tension in the nervous system. And your exhale lets it go. We'll do one more. And then when you're ready, slowly roll back center. Realign the hips and feet come down. With an inhale, take a centering stretch, arms up, legs long. With your exhale, relax your arms back along the sides and we'll set up figure four on the other side. So knees bend in, feet on the floor. Left leg crosses over the right, knee drops open, shins parallel to the floor. Bring the knees towards the chest, interlock your hands behind the right thigh, gently drawing the knees in. Again, if you need that extra stretch, you can interlock your fingers over the shin. That's going to draw them in tighter. But as an extra enhancement, gently press the tailbone down towards the floor. A little pelvic tilt towards the floor. You're going to feel an enhanced stretch sensation because of that move. One more breath here. And then we're going to lower the left foot down, cross the right knee a little bit tighter, scoot the hips just a little bit over to the left. Crossing the left leg tighter, scoot the hips to the left, arms in T position and knees drop over to the right. Head now looks to the left, so you're in that like a washcloth being wrung out. We're wringing out our nervous system. Taking a deep breath. The final wring out of the nervous system for our class. Staying present with the breath. Let the inhales give a little extra stretch sensation, a little squeeze. And the exhales let go of whatever tension got drawn out. One more. And then when you're ready, slowly unwind back center. Realign the hips, feet come down. Centering stretch here with an inhale, arms reach up, legs reach long. And with your exhale, relax your arms down along your sides. We're going to take a moment here for mind-body integration, going back through to check in. Soften the muscles around the eyes. Let your eyes rest in their sockets. Let your brain rest in its skull. Let all facial expression melt away. Whole head feels heavy. Soften the muscles of the neck and throat. Across the chest and shoulders. All down the back side of the body. From the hips to the heels. Taking a moment to check in with the whole body. Taking a moment to feel the relaxation that you cultivated through your practice today. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. And this is where we shall end. Thank you for joining me in this practice of stretch and relax today. I hope you enjoyed it.